international market, giving companies access to over 600 million consumers in Africa. The investment incentives. BZA provides a wide range of incentives including a 10-year corporate tax holiday, 25% for the next 10 years, and 30% thereafter. A 10-year withholding tax holiday for remittances to non-residents. 100 investment deduction allowance on fuel and machinery. Potential exemption for payment of stamp duty on legal instruments and value-added tax, VAT, and duty-free importation of raw materials and capital equipment. Emergency to choose Kenya's EPZ program is a secured boosting of the young, energetic, and vibrant population with a strong work ethics, ensuring a skilled labor force for their business operations. The infrastructure and connectivity makes Kenya's EPZ program the best choice. From modern ports to reliable road and railway networks, Kenya has made significant investments in infrastructure, making it easier to transport goods across the region. Other benefits of operating the EPZ are faster project approval and licensing processes, facilitation for industrial warehouses and office premises, common effluent treatment plants, green channel port clearance facilities, a one-stop shop for all business-related services and aftercare, no exchange controls, liberalized foreign exchange regime, and easy access to foreign currency accounts, including domestic and offshore borrowing, and expatriates are open to operate and manage critical aspects of their businesses. Another reason is the unrestricted foreign investments. The EPZ is already home to investments for over 22 countries, with some engaged in the manufacturing of global apparel brands. Some of the investment opportunities in the program include business processes outsourcing and IT-enabled services, agro-processing, pharmaceuticals, cold chain facilities for horticulture and floriculture, meat processing, textile and apparel value chain, transport and warehousing, distribution, logistics, leather and leather products, and new economy and agriculture. The opportunities in export-oriented trade are endless. To us, there are over 100 EPZ zones in Kenya. The zones and EPZ companies can be set up and operate from anywhere countrywide. The EPZs are either owned and operated by the government of Kenya or by private investors. Private-owned EPZs apply for developer/operation license. Investors may apply for any of the following EPZ licenses. These are the EPZ development license for those keen developing infrastructure and buildings in new zones or organized to occupy the EPZ enterprises. The EPZ enterprise license for companies directly involved in export-oriented business activities such as manufacturing, processing, and fabrication takes place. Export-related services including brokerage, consultancy, and call centers. The EPZ commercial license for engaging activities include bulk breaking, training, retailing, mining, and carpentry. This license has no control of the EPZ incentives and products in retail the country of origin and EPZ business service permits service activities within the zone and firms. The criteria for approval of the EPZ license is the project seeking approval should be of export orientation. Over 80% export sales outside the East African Community Partner States, ranging local sales up to 20%, subject to ministerial approval and payment of all taxes. The East African Community
Amenda nayo
is considered a domestic market for EPZ companies.
Amenda nayo kuna kwa gari ni kwende
must operate a concerted EPZ. Their company Accomplishments of the EPZ program include finished quality export products, growth from local towns such as Italian Town, Lines, raw material value chain integration, standstill swap, and net investments. Great opportunities are endless. The benefits are immense. Kenya's EPZ program welcomes you and is ready to help your business thrive. Come and experience the beauty of Kenya while taking advantage of their limited potential offered by the EPZ program. Kenya is open for business.
Thank you very much for the presentation. It's me who is starting to ask you the question. I think I've seen the presentation. My first question, and I'm sure it is also touching a number of other. I'm a farmer. An avocado farm. Some avocados are still rotting in my house and in my farm. You are saying you are one-stop shop for export. What solution do you have for that farmer called Ruth, Shadrach, and another one? Especially on horticulture, value addition, and again, the second question. What mitigation measures do you have for the taxes we are getting? Like I was forced to register for e-bills to supply avocados for 2,000 Kenyans to one of the supermarkets here in Toronto. So the question is, what is the being a one-stop shop for export? Because at the end of the day, most of these products, they are exported. What are you doing about that? Again, the third one, what is your outreach program for reaching us? That thing is very, I would say, sweet to hear. But for ground, normally different.
So I'll answer the three. One-stop shop, as it is. As the one-stop shop we are talking about are to the investors in the EPZ program. The investors in the EPZ program. This is a program that came in to look at export-oriented investments. Then, when it comes to now the linkage, how do you link? We have a strong association called Avocado Association of Kenya. It's a very strong one. In fact, it might even become a pastor very soon. So they have advocated the challenge that came in with the Finance Bill 2023-2024. Recently, they had meetings with the MPs, and I think the presentation was presented on the case, the challenge that you are talking about. That has also hit us because most of the avocados that we export are harsh and the export product. Not the ones that we are claiming to be rotten are the whole avocados that my mother and my grandfather used to have. But even those today, there is a new technology. We extract the oil. I remember the whole of last year, the other year, and those who come from Kisii, I saw somebody from Kisii University somewhere. They will tell you, last year and the other year, there were no avocados in Kisii. Even in the market here, you were missing avocados in Adriba, in Nairobi, because it was being sold for oil extraction. And the oil that they extract is for cosmetics. It is extracted as oil, it goes to produce cosmetic products. The third one, the issue of is now approved and passed by Parliament. So if the issues are not the parliamentarians by today, because I know they all asked to your stakeholder participation, if the cases are not ready, unless you have an appeal as quickly as possible before it is announced on 18 when the budget is being read. But most of the cases have been taken up, especially for the avocado. It was an outcry immediately it was enacted. I know because we deal so much with the avocado association when we are licensing the companies. I hope I answered the three questions. In terms of EPZA A and B, why we are in EPZA A is because it is Export Processing Zones Authority. The authority is what gave us to be A. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have another question? But you have not told us about your outreach program. I will not carry my avocados from here to TC. Can we have a plan here around my chapels and then other places?
We have outreach all over the country through the same avocado association. I know of a group that they are exporting from Taita Taveta, that is Udani. It's a huge group exporting. And I know here, there is also that group that they are exporting through the same group. So the outreach is there. Maybe it's only that it has not reached your village, but soon we will arrive there. Thank you.
Yes. And we move fast, of course, we are doing the
I appreciate what EPZA is doing, especially to Kenyans, and I would request for some explanation concerning this. What is EPZ doing concerning craft and soft skills for small-scale entrepreneurs? For example, in Machakos, we have baskets, ropes, and all that. And you can find that their chances of exporting is limited because, like, most of the time, we find the EPZ is exporting bulk permits. And the other thing I'm requesting, how does EPZ control cartels that exploit farmers in the community? For example, I can talk about the avocados, the mangoes, and the fruits. You can find that there are some companies which are registered maybe they are doing the export businesses, and then they come, they buy the avocados, the mangoes, and the other fruits at a throwaway price, and you find that there is no an organization which can maybe advocate for them. And lastly, I'm asking if there is a way forward where EPZ can ask to do patenting and granting of Kenyans goods. At least when they go maybe outside the country, nobody maybe gets the grants and grants it at the expense of Kenyans. Thank you.
The three in terms of the small MSMEs, they are traders. Most of them are all categorized as traders, small traders. I think the Ministry of, we have a dedicated ministry called MSME and Cooperatives, which is headed by CS Chilugui. I think they are doing a very great job for the country, especially Wamama, wa biashara ndogo ndogo. That is what they help them through associations, through their markets. They have a lot of markets in Sarit Center. Most of the malls, they have been given space for that. So, and they have a very strong association. And I know recently I was called to attend a meeting to present my CEO at the Deputy President's office on the issue of taxation for the small traders, who include the people that are talking about. So you are represented, there is a chairman, an indirect chairman, nationally, and they are working with the office of the Deputy President. So after this, you can contact me, I can check the form, I give you the contact of the team, and then you will expand because it's a national outfit. They were forgotten. And you know, this country now, because of the new constitution, There's nothing that you can put through without public participation. So everybody is covered. Both the big and the small. So don't worry, you will be reached. So today I've come here as a blessing because you have members for the team who are at the national level. So you will make them direct and they represent you. Because your issue went all the way to the presidency. Second, the avocado cartels and all that. We are lucky because we have come from very far. Avocado used to be an export product, but today, if I go to Quick Market, you will get avocados sold there at the export packaging. It used not to be there. It used to be only, we find them when we go to Europe, when we go to Australia, Canada, Germany, we find them. And we ask them, and then when we check, it is avocado from Kenya. But today, we are able to get them in the big markets. So meaning, things are changing. Because most of the producers are coming back. They want to flow back the pennies to our farmers, and that is why we are not losing some of the avocados, because most of the factories that we have gotten started in Morana, in Kirinaka, in Thika, we have one in Hena, a place called Hena in Nemu. We have in Nemu, we have in Eldoret coming up, we have one in Nakuru coming up. We have one in Kisumu town for avocados. They are coming up. That one will enrich because the buyers are also looking at the prices. Is it really going to the farmer? So brokers will also be able to be. And the association is very strong and they are going to manage the issues. It's only that maybe the association might not have really decided because of also the link. Maybe there is still a lot of strength in terms of brokers here or agents selling to the exporters. But sooner or later we will be connected. But in terms of the SME, I have a contact that I give you for the chairperson nationally for your case. The other issue of way forward, we have our sister institution called KEPROBA. It used to be called it used to be called Export Promotion Council. Today it's called KEPROBA, Kenya Branding and Export Organization. It is housed in Anniversary Towers, first floor and 16th floor. They do branding for all our products made in Kenya. Even recently, they went to the US with the president and they sent the largest team of people because they sent 6 people. And when we go with the president, from the circus of Parastatus, we are only able to have a CEO and one other. Then they were given 6 people because they were doing branding. And they did. When you saw it, in the US, there was an exhibition that was endorsed by the people who organized that exhibition. So it is there, KEPROBA. So you can write KEPROBA. I will give you the numbers. You can Google, and if you want branding, if you want even a market, they are the people who source for market. It is a day we don't source for market. You source for your own market. KEPROBA sources for market. It is their work, it is their mandate. Thank you. I hope I've done justice to all the questions.
Yes, that should be the last question because we want to move to.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sandy Moniki, and Sandy Moniki is a student in this institution. And my question to EPZ, there are concerns from the students putting into consideration that Machakos University is one of the public universities in Machakos County, and we have EPZ just next to us here in Atreva. So the students are concerned about which offices we engage matters, early career, your engagements. When I say early career engagements, I mean something like industrial attachment, something like internship, if maybe you can shed some light on that path, we can get in touch with our students, and it can be easier for us to access them. Thank you.
I think that's a good question, and being in institution.
Thank you. What is Rita? Rita here. You handle internships. She is here, so I'll let her answer. And if there is anything difficult, I will find out. Otherwise, I want to encourage the young man. We have an MOU with most of the universities. Most of the technical universities. I know Technical University, Moi University, KU, took. Madamus, I know it's old, but maybe the MOU would not have come, but the ones that we have MOUs have never had any issues with attachments, internships, and even some of them have gotten employed there. They have even produced one of the best managers in other institutions from the APZ. They have excellent and they are very serious in government. And they are funding the APZ program because there it's not like work. But when they went to the government, they found government things are not the same, right, etc. So the APZs are doing their job. Otherwise, you answer the other part of how to get into those the internship and academics. Thank you.
So we have two ways of getting into the APZ attachment program, which could either be through the public service, or you apply through public service, or there are community we end up having many of them picked through public service, because that's the program that the government is encouraging for the young people to access into government. Let me add to what our host has said. We have one of your alumni here who works in our department. His name is me. Yeah, that's our one of our young men in our department. Our department is called Investment in Corporate Communication. So two ways, it could either be through public service, or you just apply through, personally, but sometimes we consider the bigger lots that has come through public service. This young man is also on an internship through public service. Yeah. And you can see he's in here.
Hello. Niaje?
Thank you, Rita and Moses. I think since you are here, if you have more other questions, we'll also engage you. So now we are going back to the program, and we'll change the interview with Infinity. So I want to call upon our team leader, Africa, Chloe Kemundo. Kami juga bangga berpasal.
So, why I'm standing here is to talk about what Infinity is all about in terms of collateralization and projects. However, I know many people are asking, what is this collateralization? Why? What are we collateralizing? And how is the process of collateralization? So to say what time, because the interest of time, invite all of the previous ladies in the house, Paris. She'll take us through the process. She'll tell us why, and she'll also explain to us what these projects are all about, because there were some people are hearing this for the first time. Team Infinity, oye! Team Infinity, oye! Interview, oye! Mistake, oye! Interview, oye! Let's start together. Welcome, Paris.
Thank you. Okay, so we talked about this before break, but we want to give you some more details as to the collateralization process. And so as our founder said, we're taking the XUSDP token and we are allowing you to purchase it at 10 cents. So you're getting that immediate increase in value at $4,420. And so we have over how many projects? Project 3% that we've approved. Conditionally approved. Over 90 projects. And so what I do is I calculate the percentages of how much the community can contribute individually. And through your leader, they will let you know how many tokens you would need to do so. So then your leader would let you know, okay, the last round on 2 was 850. And as our founder said, and as I like to say, we are always winning what? That's what he's talking about, how I talk different. So they gave me the mic, and now they let me be. I'm Paris, and that's what I do. But anyway, so what we do is we calculate that amount and we give it to your leader. Then your leader will come to you and say, hey, you have the opportunity to collateralize. We need 850 tokens for your portion. We don't give out dollar amounts on what that would be when you receive the discretionary, but it is 20% of the round that you will receive. Our founder didn't go into how much that was, but for each round that we collateralize, there is a $9 billion amount of projects that we have. So 20% of $9 billion is $1.8 billion. Now, based on the fact that you can either do 100% collateralization with the community, or as a project owner, you can do up to 50%. That's why we can't give you an exact amount, because some projects are 100% community collateralized, and some have the 50% by the project owners. And so what we do is I calculate all that, put that all together, spread it across the number of people in our community and across our teams. And as I said last time, it was 850 tokens that you needed. And so when we get down to discretionary payments, then I will come back and give you what those amounts look like. We are now in round 3 and 4. 3 has been filled with conditionally approved projects, and we are now into 4. And so that 20%, really what you're looking at is 125% collateralization. 100% of the project, 5% for the cost of money, and then 20% that comes back into the community to either project owners and the community, or 100% project, as I said. And so I break all of that down, we calculate this behind the scenes. We give you the numbers and trust us, because our genius here, Dan Boots, has created that calculator. So the figure that we give you is a figure. So when we give you that figure, please just comply and send that in. You do not have to give a full amount. If you do not have the 850 tokens, if that's what will be next round, you only have 150, you will get that percentage amount, and that's fine. It's that we are making it as equal as possible so that we are always winning together. And so that's how the collateralization works. We have different projects from humanitarian to for-profit. They are all not just humanitarian projects. There are projects that are for-profit, but they are benefiting communities, they're benefiting children, they're benefiting whatever need is there in that particular community. So, but anyway, so that's what we do in collateralization, and that is how we are learning to build wealth together, right? And so that's what we're here for. That is what we do, and it's all focused from love. And God is love, and that's why we're here to just bring that opportunity to you, to give you more clarity and understanding understanding of what collateralization means. It means you're taking that token and you are helping to bring to fruition the dreams of people across America. And you can be one of those people too. I'm sorry, I meant to say the world. And I said, I'm not correcting me. So it's not just America, it's across the world. That includes Africa, that includes Europe, that includes anywhere globally, because we have members globally across the world.
She's doing a very good job. She's the one who sits behind the prioritization of projects. The process, maybe you have gotten it or not gotten it. Since you have the leaders here, you continue learning. It is a process, what the founder said. It's not something you can learn maybe in a day or 2 days. It is a process. And also how to become a leader. So, you have to be mentored, you have to be nurtured. Nobody can be a leader. So, it all depends on how they will do their assessment. So, do we have one or two questions about the project prioritization? Because I want to point out the leader with. They are doing the training for FBS Express, and there is that. I think there's a list which is going around. Ensure that your name is there because they are supposed to issue certificate of participation. And it is good that you will also get a certificate called Master of Business in the Space. So ensure that your names are on that list. I don't know whether Kenny, there is one staff from the university who has been after me. Telling me, make sure that I get that certificate. So I hope her name is on that. Munen Miriam. I hope Kenny's name is in that list. So is there just one question about project prioritization? Because my leaders are here, the founder, apart from that, those are the kind of questions you keep on asking your leader. So if you want credit, you can hear it from the horse's mouth. The person who sits at the admin doing the projects of prioritization. Any question? Can I move? Okay. There's one question. Money. I could just be brief.
Thank you. My name is Jeffrey. I have one question, and that is about regulation. So, to ensure safety throughout the whole process, are you regulated? Is there some form of regulation so that people can ensure that their investment is handled in the correct manner?
So, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Cryptocurrency and what regulates it. Cryptocurrency is not a government-regulated industry. We don't ask for investment per se. We're a private organization that uses cryptocurrency just to collateralize. So there's no investment that we're asking for. Your coin is never at risk because if we put up one coin, we also put up one coin to guarantee that whatever happens, we have what's called a double collateralization process. We have enough coins that you will never lose your coin no matter what. So we have that, we put coin in a term escrow accounts so that the attorney has the coin. We have two attorneys here. tomorrow, and we make sure they have our cryptocurrency in their wallets. It's called a multi-sig wallet. So not even the attorney, if he wants to, run away with it. A multi-sig wallet means that there's about 4 or 5 people has to sign before they can move coin out. It's just like having a multiple signage account at the bank. What is regulated is the funds coming into your country. Because as you know, money all over the world is regulated. And this is why we have to come here, open a corporation, have a relationship with banks, and go through all the corporate things that we need to oversee, along with the financial institution to which is overlooking that particular project. So within that system, it's within the system, for instance, we would say we have $1 billion project here. We're going to spread it over 2 banks. We'll approach the bank and we'll talk about how to bring those funds in to the country. Either they take it on their ledger and give us a loan, or they use the money that we give them for projects. And so that's how it's regulated. But we do have a registered company here that will oversee every program that we will do here. And in every other country that we will do project, we first go in, we get a local entity, and form a relationship with the banking corporation, and we move the funds in to do the project under that corporate structure with the banking system. Did I answer your question? Other than who asked it?
Yes?
And I just wanted to let everybody know that we have assigned admins, and for Team 5, Team Africa, that I'm your assigned admin. So, hello.
Paris is the assigned admin for Group 5, which is led by Chloe. Team leader is Chloe, the admin is here, the top cream is here, and the founder is there. So, I can tell you, we are in very same hands. But very important, it's infinity, it's a private community. And they are using crypto to the collateralized programs. Cryptos are not centralized, they are decentralized. It means they can do the transactions when they are in the US, to Kenya, anywhere, without even government regulation. But I would say we are even more safer because the founder said they have a local entity which is again regulated by the Kenyan government regulations. Yes, so I think it's just clear. And something else what the founder said, for when they are collateralizing one coin against theirs, that is a double collateralization, meaning that you as an investor you don't lose, and also them they don't lose. So it's a win-win. In fact, I was waiting for someone to ask when are we having this project, not even the process of collateralization, because the team here is doing that, and founder is here. So when can we have one? What the county was saying. Because we have done one at Concert, ICTR. When is it up and running so that we compete with the county government? So with all that, I think now we can move to the next. The team is still here, you can see the gate them if you want to get some more information. And we are still here tomorrow. So you see your questions will be answered. So I'm now going to call the interviews team led by Paul Kabao. and Collins and Harrison. And I think that is what is going to end our today's program. So welcome. Here we are not, we can continue clapping now tomorrow, so we can sit clap.
Thank you, Shadrach. I appreciate it. I'm going to hook up this projector really quick. We have a couple things to show.
Now you are being taken the MPS.
Yes. Okay. All right. So we went over the MDS course, a little bit what we teach. That's our flagship program, and for the very first time in Interview Solutions history, we are introducing the course of MDS Express. And I'll explain a little bit about the background of why we want the MDS Express in addition to the courses that we currently have. So, Citibank did a study on Interview Solutions about, I think it was about 2015 when they did, so it's a little bit outdated at this point. But Citibank did a study on Interview Solutions. They had 3 of their branches have all of their lenders take the MDS course before actually obtaining a loan. And then they reported on how they did in comparison to the other groups around that they did not take the MDS course. Now, what they found, they did a whole study on both the repayment on the loans, how the branch did overall, and all 3 branches that took had all their lenders take the MDS course outperformed all other branches in the area because they had a higher payback rate. They had more individuals that were taking out loans because we were feeding the microfinance institution lenders, good lenders that understood that they needed loans. And so we ran into one issue though. The MDS course takes approximately 6 weeks to go through if you take 2 units per day. So a microfinance institution doesn't necessarily want to teach every single lender the full MDS course to take. So what we came up with is the MDS Express Manual. So manual right there. And we'll be walking through what that looks like. And this is a course that takes just the basic principles of what we teach in the MDS course and we smush it down just to the need-to-know items before you obtain this course that could be taken within about 3 hours. So, if we go ahead and go to the next one. This is our founder, Dean Curtis. His quote is, "No individual should ever obtain a loan without first understanding paperwork and business principles." And I'm a strong believer in that. So what we're going to be covering today in the table of contents, loans should buy productive assets. We'll talk about what a productive asset is. I know several of you probably know a lot of the content that we're going to cover today, but especially if you're one of our success ambassadors. But try to think about all this content and who would benefit from this, how we can get this out to individuals within your communities, and how can we partner, how can we figure out ways to make sure individuals are ready to obtain capital before obtaining money. We're going to talk about separating business and personal money. We're going to teach this in an interweave way. It's not necessarily a typical conference. I'm not going to be just up here talking. I'm going to ask for some interaction with all of you. I know that might wake some of you up a little bit as you've heard my voice a lot at this point. So we'll talk about income and expense logs, income statements, business budgets, and comparing your budget to your actuals. And we'll focus a little bit less on the paperwork items as those get a little bit monotonous. So who needs the MBS Express course? Microfinance institutions, banks, government agencies, any organization or individual that gives, receives money. So we've talked about having this program being implemented specifically in microfinance institutions. These microfinance institutions are giving out loans. They don't want somebody to take a 6-week course, so we've come up with the MBS Express course where they can actually understand basic business principles and paperwork. So just to reiterate, this is a course, our MBS course is still going to be our flagship course. This is the course that we encourage all of our Success Ambassadors to teach. All of our Success Ambassadors will be teaching the full 6-week MBS course to individuals in their community. That has the largest impact on individuals and bringing them actually out of poverty and having an impact on their lives. However, this is an additional course that we are offering to institutions that do not have time to be able to take a 6-week course. So here's the MBS course, and I have it right here. We've got the facilitator manual, and we have the MBS participant workbook. You'll see the participant workbook can be printed out in 2 pieces of paper, which for all my Success Ambassadors, they understand that the participant workbook for the full MBS course is much more than 2 pages of paper. So the MBS Express course covers exactly what we'll go over today. So the MBS Express talks about how loans should buy productive assets, separate business and personal money, those items that we talked about, right? This right here is what our Success Ambassadors are going to be able to see. This manual is our facilitator manual. It's a little bit more, has a little bit more meat on the bones because it tells them that it leads the facilitator on a journey on how to facilitate the course the correct way, to be able to ask the right questions so individuals can teach themselves. And we'll go through a little bit of an exercise on on a couple of the units in the MBS Express course so you grasp the idea of how Interleave Solutions teaches and what the MBS Express course is all about. So you as a MBS participant would see this page right here, and you would see kind of the introduction to MBS Express course. I would see, as an MBS Success Ambassador, I'm going to see a little bit more content. So I would discuss different things. So we'll go ahead and go through Unit 1, and I'll kind of work backwards a little bit as we get going. So I'd like to open up the question, can somebody tell me what they see in this top picture, right there? The one that you have your arrow on, Harrison. The guy in the boat. Just tell me what you see. Yes, a fat person is sinking a boat. Exactly. Anybody else? He's still eating, right? He's not being very productive, right? Us fat Americans, right? What else? Anything else? Exactly. He doesn't have a paddle or a motor, right? Exactly. So I'd like to ask the question of, let's say that this boat represents your business, right? What does the fat guy represent? And that's the question. Go ahead, John. Yes, the sinking boat. So if the boat represents your business, then what does the fat guy represent? It could be you, right? Expenses. Exactly. Exactly. Anybody else? Yes? What was that? Mismanagement of finances. Great answer. Absolutely. It could be a loan if you use your loan the wrong way. Misappropriation of the profit. Stealing from your business. Exactly. We'll talk about that a little bit today. These are all correct answers. So, what are some of the costs that would see your business question that we kind of asked. And we talked about loans, we talked about it could be rent, it could be about supplies. These are all different costs that could be this fat guy weighing down the business. Now this man, he's not a very productive asset, I would say. He has no road, he has no engine. That man is going nowhere. So if that boat is your business, I'm sorry, it's just not going to work. But I think several of us, if you think of this boat as a business, I think all of us can think of businesses that have been in a situation where you have overhanging loans on your head, you have fixed expenses of rent, you have a bad employee that is weighing your company down. So these are all examples of assets or costs that do not help your business out. So sometimes we add expenses to our business that cause too much financial weight. A loan payment is an example of an expense that can sink our business if we're not wise. Today we will take the MDS Express to help us keep track of our business finances to keep your business afloat. So now we'll go down to, just go a little bit down over to loans should buy productive assets. So let's talk about what a productive asset is a little bit, and we'll talk about what a loan is. So what a loan is so obtaining a loan costs money, and it has requirements. So I'll ask all of you, I'm sure several of you know, what is interest on a loan payment?
Depends on where you get it from. From a microfinance institution. 8%. So what would that 8% represent? That's how much it costs you. So you're paying additional capital on top of the principal, right? So it's coming out of the pocket. That's money that's out of your pocket. You're not paying it down. That 8% is money that you are paying over and over again. And from country to country, from area to area, that interest rate differs. Now, with every single loan, every single time you obtain money, there are always terms. So we ask, how often do you make payments? Does your loan have a balloon payment at any point? Do you have origination fees, late payment fees, early payoff fees, or extra payment fees? These are all fees, all terms that you need to be able to keep track of because they significantly impact the weight of that man on your boat in your business. If your interest rate is somewhere around 40 or 50%, that's a much more significant weight on your boat than if it's at 8%, right? So, when you use a loan, you want to buy what we call productive assets. You're not going to want to buy a television or something that is not going to be producing money for your business, right? So because loans cost you money, they should only be used to buy those productive assets that we're going to talk about. A productive asset is something that helps your business make money. A food cart, an oven, or a refrigerator can all be productive assets depending on your business. So we must take care of our assets so they continue to be productive. So if you buy, let's say it's a really nice bike and you run a transportation business, if you don't take care of it, if you don't oil up the chain, if you don't take care of it, then it will eventually break down and you have to buy another one, increasing the cost and increasing the weight of that fat man on the road. So if we turn to page 2, so if you have this and you were taking it in person, you turn to page 2 and it would show, go ahead, just a little bit. These are some of the productive assets. So by raise of hands, is a sewing machine a productive asset? Yes. Is a broken bicycle a productive asset? Here's a trickier one. Is a chicken that doesn't lay eggs a productive asset? I heard yes and no.
No.
Let's hear somebody. I want to hear your thoughts. Anybody want to raise their hand? And we'll go. We'll call it. Exactly. So if you use a loan to buy a chicken that doesn't lay eggs, then is that chicken going to produce eggs? Is it going to produce more chickens? Now, you could debate that if you're having a business that just sells chickens for the meat, then that could possibly make sense. But in this case, we're saying no, it does not make a productive asset, because you cannot create, if you have a rooster, that chicken is not going to produce chicks, and you're not going to be able to continue your business successfully, right? What's that?
A lot of people, they don't know nothing about the business they do. So that's going to be giving the chicken and the eggs. They cannot do anything with it because they don't know what to do.
Exactly. Individuals need to understand the business principles to be able to control their business, to promote it. And that's when we would encourage them to take the full MBS course that teaches the 6 Ps. Because even if you have a productive asset and you don't know how to use it, then that kind of increases the weight of that fat man again on the boat. A positive, helpful employee. Yes. A computer that works. I would say so. That is certainly helpful for keeping the paperwork. So what we would have you then do is you would write down the interest rate and terms of your loan on the paper before taking that loan, or you try to research that interest rate or the terms on that loan. And then assets I have or need. And I want to just clarify and emphasize assets I have. Because if you have the assets that you need for your business, then don't obtain a loan for your business. You don't have to obtain a loan for your business if you don't need one. We encourage individuals not to have a loan on your business unless you need it. However, most businesses, when you get to a growth stage of your business, they like to have loans that have very productive assets. So that's where you talk about the assets that you need, and we would have our participants list the items that they need. So we could go ahead to the next slide. So what is the difference between an unproductive asset and a productive asset? That's the question. Yes, an unproductive asset does not continue to help you with your business. It's not useful. Exactly. What is it? And a productive asset, somebody. Raise your hands, don't be shy. It's the one that's going to create more business for you. It's the one that's going to continue to create revenue for your business, right? So what are some of the assets that you have in your business? And I'm asking this to all of you because there are several of you that own businesses in this very room. What are some of the productive assets that you have? A computer that works, and that's an Apple one, a very nice computer that works.
The same machine.
A projector that works, I like that, yes. A pair of hands, a good employee, absolutely. A pair of hands that knows how to do good work. Anybody else? A grumpy, complaining employee. That might be, well, it depends, you know. That might be a little bit more on the, and then we would turn to page 2 and write down the interest rate. Okay, I showed you that. So what we just did there is what's called discuss and act. That's what we do in the interweave teaching methodology. So all of our success ambassadors have taken the full success ambassador course, where we try to help individuals teach themselves, I guess you could say. We less work on a teacher and more as a facilitator. We have individuals, typically, if this was shaped a little bit different, we would have a circle, right? And we would have individuals meet in groups of circles, and we would have them talk as a group, and we would open up that question so every individual would have to be able to say something. And so if we have a group of 4 or 5 individuals, somebody's going to make you say something at some point, right? So you're going to participate more. You're going to be able to learn a little bit more from the individuals around you. And that's what we've really learned that through decades of manipulating the MBS course specifically for micro institution, for smaller businesses, that if you get interaction, that if you get individuals to talk about their own situation, they correlate a question with something going on in their own life, then it sticks with them much longer and has a more significant impact on their life. We've had the same thing with the wellness program, where we teach about how to address issues like mental illness, so depression, anxiety, anger. We found that if you are able to talk about something, if you are able to correlate a method of fixing your life with a personal experience, then you will be able to learn that principle and maintain it in your brain much longer. So that's what we do throughout this whole entire process. So we're going to go ahead and go on to principle 2, separate business and personal money. This is one of my favorite ones. So I need a couple of volunteers. I need 3 people. So I raise your hands. I have 3 volunteers to come up. Go ahead. Both of you. Yes, all 3. Come on. Okay, so separating your business from your personal money. So many micro business owners do not know that business and personal money must be separated. This is not a want, this is a need. You need to separate your personal from your business money. You guys can just stand right here for a moment. So, when your child needs money for their lunch, or when electricity bills in the home needs to get paid, or when other personal expenses occur, the business owner might use money from their business to pay for these personal expenses. This is not correct. Business owners need to avoid this, and I can't emphasize that enough. A business owner and a business are 2 separate entities. So we're going to do a little bit of a skit to kind of represent this. Who wants to be the CEO? All right, you're the CEO. You are the CEO of a candy business. Who wants to be the actual candy business? You? Okay. And you are going to be the child of the CEO. Okay? So you're the child. And we've got a couple of pieces of delicious candy. All right. So the candy business is the one that owns the candy. And so the candy business is right here, and you can see the CEO. I'm going to flip this around. The CEO and owner is a separate entity. These are 2 separate businesses. These are 2 separate entities, right? So when the child asks the CEO, so ask her for a piece of candy.
Hello, can you get a piece of candy?
Let's do an example where you take the money. Or you take the money and you give it to her. So let's say she says yes. So he comes over. Yep. So come grab the candy and give it to your child. So now what just happened to the candy business? She just stole from her business. She stole money from the business to give it to her child. Now this cost the candy business money. So let's go ahead and give the candy back to the business. Now what should have happened is the CEO/owner should have said, no, I can't, because I am not the one that owns the candy. Or what she could have done is taken money out of her pocket and paid the business. That's what she could have done. So you may ask, well, if my business is making money, how do I actually have money to pay my rent, my daily expenses? What we'll do is we'll have, I forgot to bring it. I usually have Monopoly money, so fake money. So what we'll usually do is every single time that a customer comes in and gives money to candy business, so I'll get the money and I'll get candy, and then she gives money and she'll get candy, and then maybe I'll do that again and I'll give him money and he gives me candy, and then maybe $1 of that would go towards the CEO and owner. That's what we would call a commission. So we can either have a commission-based salary, or we can have just a base salary that you pay yourself every single month. But we teach the idea of savings, of adding to your savings every single month. Make sure that you pay your expenses and then have enough in the commission to be able to save a little bit every single month. Because one day, there will be an emergency that happens, whether that's a family member getting sick, whether you're a business, whether it's COVID, right? Whatever that may be, there are always emergencies that hurt your business, and you want to save for a rainy day. But we encourage and we really teach, do not steal from your business to pay for your personal items. So give a round of applause for the So we talked about paying yourself a salary and not robbing from your business. So why is it so important to separate your business and your personal funds? Open up for questions. Why is it so important to separate your business and personal funds?
For you know which belongs to where. It's a matter of putting it in this basket, this is mine.
Exactly. This is mine, this is the business. It's organizing your capital, right? And what are some ways that you can actually separate your business and personal money? Separate bank accounts. For some individuals that maybe don't have money in the bank, it could be 2 separate little boxes that you put cash into. Whatever that might be, make sure that it's separated. So what can the owner do if they decide to let their child have some candy from the business inventory? Pay for it herself from her personal income. Exactly. So why is it so important not to give away your product even to your close friends and to your family? Yeah. Exactly. Because if you have a loan, you're paying a loan with interest. You have expenses. You have that guy on your boat that you have to continue to move. You have to continue to move your boat, and if you have those expenses, it weighs it down. So then we would encourage our participants to go to the page 2 and write on how they will avoid stealing from their business and separate their business from their personal money. So those are the first 2 units of the MBS Express course, and there are a total of 6. So it would take about 3 to 4 hours to go through the entire course. And through these additional units, if we scroll down, we'll just kind of talk through them without me actually teaching them so you can see them. We teach income and expense logs, where we teach them the date, description, expense, income, balance. And go to the next. We teach examples of the balance sheet, I believe it was. Whoops. So this is the income statement, and we give examples of an income statement and what to take from your income statement, how to understand it. We teach, keep on going down. We also have a scan for blank PDFs for individuals to use to print out. The annual's projected business budget without toys. So this is an example of business budget with toys. He's a carpenter. He makes furniture, and he's considering whether or not he should create toys for December. And so this is an example of that. So keep on going, move a little bit faster. You can see we've got the business budget, and then we have the blank one. So keep on going down.
income and expense log, you have a blank one that they will fill out for themselves, and then they will submit that to the United States, and we will see if it's correct or if it's not. And they build their income statements, then they build their balance sheet, their business budget, and we take a look at if they're doing that correctly. So that's what Interweave is all about. That's the NBS Express course. And then we would encourage them to take the full NBS course, because that's where we teach an individual not only paperwork and basic business principles, but we go into depth about promotion and about all those different items that you just need to understand as a business. So that's a little bit about Interweave Solutions, and we would love to answer questions after, but meeting after if you need. But I think we're about done for the day.
I think we need to give him I think because of interest of time.
Good, thank you, Collins, for the brief sharing. I think you have all the concept of the MBS. And one question that is being asked over and over again is about how much does it cost to go over this training? And like it has been said, Interweave Solutions International is a non-profit making organization in USA. And for the success ambassadors who are here, I raise your hand where you are. Thank you, you have seen them. We don't pay any money to Interweave Solutions to use the program. Instead, they give us money to use the program. For example, I think Jordan is here. Jordan, we received any grant from Interweave. 300 USD. And that is a grant we call the New Growth Grant. And that is just to enable him to reach out to the people he wants to train. That is one stage. The next stage is when he reaches out to people he wants to train using his own skills. He has got the right to now agree on the price he is going to charge these people. I think here we have business consultants, we have financial consultants. How much would you charge an organization like Machakos University to come and deliver this program here? If you have an opportunity, how much? My estimate. John O'Hara, how much would you charge as a consultant?
Well, that one will depend.
Yes.
How you agree with him, depending on his own situation.
Okay, on an estimate, how much you are invited to train 20 teachers, members of staff for 3 days?
I can charge 1,500 per student for the whole course.
1,500 per student for the whole course. According to you. Now, another person will do the same thing, but will come up with different figures. And you have not acted like a business consultant in our country, because they are charging over 50,000 to come to this kind of institution, or even 100,000. I'm sure you have participated to these programs, executive meetings, where you are even being told you are paying 200,000 to go through a program that goes for 2 days. Now, the beauty of this program is success ambassadors have got that gap to negotiate how much they charge. And some people will do it on a voluntary basis. I had a group from Kitara saying they are moving even about 10 kilometers to provide the program free. But others are doing it on a fee, and they agree with the students that this is the match. And normally this program takes about 3 weeks to to 6 or 8 weeks at most. Again, you don't eat in a class like the way you are seated. This is a program we agree with you. I come to you, we agree. What time of the day do you or night do you want to be learning? Then the learning is going to be through WhatsApp or through Zoom or through Google Meet or face to face. And that is the way most of us learn this program. I was taught by a trainer from USA. Another one will say he was taught by a person from Nigeria. I have also taught somebody, 3 people from South Africa and now in Zimbabwe, and I don't know them. We only meet on Zoom, and we just organize and plan the time. And as we do that, we agree. After this course, I'm going to give you, and I will charge you this much. And the other thing is, interviews will allow me, after the completion of the course, when the student has been assessed and passed, they will not send the certificate to the student. They will send the certificate to me to be able to give to the student. And here I think I have come with the samples of certificates, which will come from them. This one is Interim Certified Peer Counselor Certificate. That is for those who are doing the counseling course, which is an additional MBS course. Once you are in your group, you will train them, and each member will get this certificate so that he or she becomes a trainer of the group. Then there is the Interim Wellness Facilitator course. Once you have facilitated or empowered, you have been trained, you are given this certificate so that you are a counselor and you can be able to do that course. This is the key certificate. We call it the key because it's the MBS certificate that you get when you complete that course of 12 units. And when this certificate you complete the 12 units, it is not sent to you, it will be sent to the success ambassador. And with the success ambassador, he will be able to sign it on behalf of Interview Solutions, and also maybe put a stamp of your consultancy program and pass it to you upon maybe the agreements you have already have with your students. And then once you complete this program, which can take about 4 to 8 weeks, you do the next course, which is called the MBS Success Ambassador course. And this one is like a trainer of trainers course. This one again can take about 2 weeks and 1 week if you are fast enough. And it opens the door for you now to become a success ambassador with the internet. And as you do that, okay, for those who are here, we said we are going to give you certificates. This is the certificate of attendance, which you give to people who have not gone through the whole program, have just gone through part of it, and receive this one. Now, yesterday, we were somewhere in the Ministry of Small and Micro Enterprises, and we were trying to find out a way, how do we come up with a program to be able to make sure that this program goes down to our business people without raising much money for the cost, because you go anywhere, people want to run, but they say they don't have money. And we also visited the Ministry of ICT, and we went to one microfinance bank, and all of them showed extra interest to have this course implemented in the country and our people to start using it. Why? Because we have presented to them, they have seen how it is working, and they have appreciated it. And in most of these offices we have gone, they have said we should be sit down, we come up with a program of how the program is going to work in our country. And as I talk now, we were given an assignment. Go and sit down with the success ambassadors and come up with a document of how we want to operate with us. It's just like one person asked, is this program legalized? And that is one way we are particularly because we have been looking around for a means or for a way for us to be registered through the Attorney General, but it was relatively hard. But here yesterday, we got an opportunity, and this program is going to be recognized by the Ministry of Micro and Small Enterprises, and we are going to be registered by them. Also, we are going to have those of you who have known how that ministry works, they work through groups, and therefore, groups will be recognized throughout the country. Groups that are working under the government and micro and small enterprises. And they also said, do it quickly, because we have sponsors who want to bring money to us, and we are looking for people who are going to implement the program. And you can be part of them. This is the beauty thing of which that our success advisors, through this program, have already created employment for themselves. And we are going to do that only if we are associated, we are organized, and we are able to show that we have got this resource, this skill, and we can partner with the government to provide it. The same thing happened with the Ministry of ICT. I said it in the morning. We came to know one another through a program of ICT, which was a digitization program in communities. And ICT was paying us money to actually go through the training that took about 2-3 months, through accommodation in high-class hotels. And they spent millions and millions of money from Moldova. And the same program, the same ministry said, you go and organize yourself, we come up with an innovative way of how we are going to implement this program. So these are opportunities. And if we are together, if we have got supporters, like Infinity, like UAE, which we have partnered, universities, this program can go to every level of our country at the grassroots. And it will create employment for successful visitors, and it will be a benefit for the receivers of the program. That is what I can tell you in brief, and there are so many good ways in it. Thank you very much.
I know you are tired now. We should be ending, but I still had an opportunity for the meeting. We have something to add, because this forum is for Infinity most. So, or do you feel like we now start the day tomorrow afresh? Maybe Natasha could be adding something small, just to say that. Our goal was to move the vote of thanks for today. Then I urge all of you, tomorrow let's start as the program. We have done some bits in haste because of time. The Infinity team has a lot to do and present. So, and since tomorrow there will also be a graduation, I really want us to start early so that each one of us gets the best of this launch, the best of this. Yes, I found the
Do you want to speak? I just want to say in closing, a big thanks to all of you that have come out. We are here to partner with you and to give you hope, to find, to go out there, beat the bushes where you can't get finances. We can do something privately. We do have people that really, really wants to help the grassroots people. And we want to structure it with people like Interweave, that we know that you know what you're doing, so we don't have to worry about, losing funds and this thing can be successful. I want to thank you again in advance, and we're hoping to learn together and develop a relationship that will bring you into the abundance that God desired for each of us. Thank you again. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think the founder has just said it all. Joseph doesn't need to have anything. So,
Niko poa.
as usual, we need somebody to pray for us.
70 ama? Ilikuwa 70?
Ruth.
Ilikuwa ngapi? Sawa.
And tomorrow, let's try to be here and please.
Oh, sawa. Sawa, acha niambie Shuba na kuwekea.
Can we be upstanding?
Sijakuwa around.
Before lunchtime, when you were talking with Professor Omochi, he first sad news that on Tuesday we lost one of the professors from this university, Professor Okioma. And that information, because that's
Narudi kuchukua. Niko huko nje. Iko hapo. Sijaangalia tu. Alikuwa ameniuliza kama iko. Yeah. That has been for today. Until now, tomorrow, we will update you with the rest of the event. Thank you for being with us. We love you all.